Welcome to the OpFund web portal training video on creating a shortfall funding budget. Please note, to submit a shortfall budget, your PHA must have a previously approved shortfall application. The OpFund web portal designates three types of user roles: OPD, OPE, and OPI. The OPD user role is intended for a PHA's executive director only. This user can create, edit, and submit the forms and electronically sign them. The OPE user can create and edit forms, but they can't sign or submit the forms. The OPI user can only read submitted forms. They can't create, edit, sign, or submit forms. Follow up with your PHA's WAS coordinator to ensure that they only assign one role per user. In cases where a user has more than one role assigned, the system will automatically default to the access rights of the lower of the two roles. To create a shortfall budget, go to PHA Reports and Submissions in the left navigation menu. Open the Shortfall Submissions drop-down menu and select Shortfall Budget. Select the calendar year and your PHA code. Once you select a PHA code, the portal will populate the available AMPs to create the shortfall budget. Each AMP will require its own shortfall budget. You can filter your view of AMPs by selecting a specific AMP in the Select Development Number field. The portal displays all AMPs associated with the OpFund grant, as well as any AMPs used within FDS. Creating a budget. You can create a shortfall budget two different ways. If you did choose an AMP selection in the Select Development Number field, you can select the Create Budget button. If you didn't use the Select Development Number filter, select the pencil icon next to a record. On the next page, PHAs have the option to provide comments regarding the AMP's budget in the text box. Select the Create button. Data entry for the shortfall budget. The portal highlights certain line items in blue and yellow. The blue line items are calculation lines that act as a subtotal for the yellow and non-highlighted line items. These lines include items such as total revenue and total operating expenses and cannot be edited. Line items highlighted in yellow designate data your PHA must update. These required line items include fiscal year ending, ACC units leased, ACC units available, and months in reporting period. Each line item is a control line item that has a specific definition for each line item. Your PHA can complete the non-highlighted line items as necessary. Please refer to the PHA OpFund web portal Shortfall Budget User Guide Appendix for a complete list of line item definitions. To begin, click the pencil icon for the line item Fiscal Year Ending. Select the date in the Actuals from FDS Used in Shortfall Program field. Next, choose the annual budget date that your PHA will be reporting. Please note that this date should be 1 year or more after the date chosen in the Actuals from FDS Used in Shortfall Program. Click the Update and Close button. Let's review the months in reporting period line item. If your PHA is reporting the same March 30, June 30, or September 30 period, then select 12. Otherwise, if your PHA changed the reporting period to December 31, then select 12 plus 3 more months, 15. Select the annual budget and click Update and Close. After entering data into the required yellow line items, your PHA may need to enter data in certain non-highlighted line items, such as total tenant revenue. Be sure to enter the Actuals from FDS Used in Shortfall Program. Enter the annual budget and click Update and Close. Repeat this data entry process for all required yellow and non-highlighted line items as necessary. As you enter data into the various line items, the portal calculates the revenue and expense categories and other line items highlighted in blue. Providing comments and supporting documentation. You can provide comments throughout the submittal and actuals process for each line item by selecting the comment icon at the end of a line item. Type your comment in the Enter Comment text box and then choose Add Comment. The portal displays your comment in the window. You can edit a previously submitted comment by clicking the pencil icon. If necessary, you may also delete a comment by clicking the X icon next to that comment. Please note that you can only edit or delete a comment you previously entered. You cannot edit or delete another user's comment. Click the Close and Return button to return to the main budget screen. The number at the top right of a comment icon indicates how many comments are associated with a specific line item. To upload documents for a specific line item, click the paperclip icon at the end of the row. Choose your document type and enter any optional comments. Click the File Browse button to search your computer for supporting documentation. After selecting your file, click the Upload File button. The file appears in a list at the bottom of the window. Click the Download link to open and download the file. If you uploaded a file in error, click the trash can icon to delete the file. Please note that you can only delete a file you previously uploaded. You cannot delete a file that was uploaded by another user. Click the Close and Return button after you finish uploading files. The number at the top right of the paperclip icon indicates how many documents are associated with a specific line item. Your PHA can add additional comments and documentation throughout the shortfall budget process. Deleting the shortfall budget. You may delete the shortfall budget form prior to submission if you decide not to proceed. Click the Delete button. The portal will show a pop-up window confirming your selection. Click the OK button to delete the budget. At this point, your PHA may create the shortfall budget for the AMP again. Viewing and printing the shortfall budget. You can print the budget for any AMP. Select the View Print Shortfall Budget button. Please note, do not use the Control-P or File Print options when printing from the OptPhone web portal, as this will cause documents to print incorrectly. Click the Print button in the pop-up window. You may print the budget or save the budget as a PDF. Submitting the shortfall budget. After updating all required fields for the budget, your PHA is now ready to submit its budget. Only your PHA's Executive Director can submit the budget. Click Apply Changes to ensure all updates are saved. Click the Submit Request button. The portal will show a confirmation message stating that the shortfall budget is submitted. Once you submit, the values are read-only. If you click the pencil icon for a line item, you will see the values are read-only. Understanding email notifications after submission. The OptFund web portal notifies your PHA's Executive Director by email when the shortfall budget form is submitted. This is an example of the received email notification. The portal also notifies your PHA's Executive Director when HUD approves their shortfall budget. This is an example of an approved email notification. Lastly, HUD may return your PHA's shortfall budget form if the budget contains errors, omissions, missing or incorrect documentation, or any other reason. The portal notifies your PHA's Executive Director by email when HUD returns their shortfall budget. This is an example of a returned email notification. The Return Comment section provides the reason HUD returned the submission. PHAs must navigate to the Shortfall Budget module and correct and resubmit the shortfall budget form. Reporting actuals by PHA. Once HUD approves the shortfall budget, your PHA can now enter the AMP actuals for the first half, second half, and year-end as necessary. Please note that FDS line item 99901, fiscal year ending, cannot be edited once the shortfall budget is submitted and approved. In this example, we'll update FDS line item 99902, ACC units leased. Click the pencil icon to review and update the shortfall budgets with the first half actuals, second half actuals, and year-end actuals. Enter the actuals you are reporting. Be sure to leave future actuals blank until your PHA has the corresponding information. Click Update and Close to return to the budget form. Repeat this data entry process for all required yellow and necessary non-highlighted line items. Your PHA can update the reported actuals as many times as necessary. Click Return to PHA selection to continue with other AMP entries. Requesting budget revisions. If you need to make a revision to an approved budget, search for the AMP in the Select Development Number field. Click the Create Revision button. Enter your comments in the PHA Comments text box and click the Create button. The OptPhone web portal displays new columns labeled Budget Revision and Percentage Change. As you update values for a row, you'll see values displayed in these new columns. Continue the data entry process for all required yellow and non-highlighted line items as necessary. Be sure to click the Apply Changes button after making updates. Click the Submit Request button once you're ready to submit your revised shortfall budget. You'll see a message confirming that your shortfall budget has been submitted. HUD will review your PHA submission and return any comments as needed. Please note, your PHA can only make another shortfall budget revision once HUD has approved the second version of the budget. PHAs can only make a maximum of 3 budgetary versions within the module, 1 original submission plus 2 revisions. Thank you for watching this OptFund web portal training video on creating a shortfall funding budget. If you have questions about shortfall funding, please refer to the latest PIH notice for guidance. If you have questions about OptFund grants, calculating or understanding OptFund eligibility, PIH regulations, or notices, contact your local field office. If you have questions or technical issues regarding your access to the OptFund web portal, contact React TAC by phone at 1-888-245-4860 and choose option number 4, or by email at react_tac@hud.gov.